Hi, good morning. Let's get together live and let's talk about my little test. I've created a test, I made it myself, to determine whether or not Black women, you have a job or a master. I sincerely and wholeheartedly believe that Black liberation includes your liberation. It includes you freeing yourself from the things that are keeping us in bondage, keeping us bound. So I came up with a test of 6 questions that I think are a good indicator of whether or not you have a master. Okay? If your job is in control, I'm gonna spoil some of it. If your job is in control of what you do after you clock out, you may not have a job. You may have a master. We're gonna talk about the 6 questions, and I'm also gonna work you or give you some support, some resources to point you to for each. I think for each and every one of the questions. So if there's a question that comes up and you're like, oh yeah, my answer to this is yes, I may be in a position where I need to reevaluate some things. I have some places that I'm going to point you. So watch the video, and I'm going to go ahead and read off the six first. I'm going to read the 6 questions. I'm going to give you the test right up front, and then stick around and we're going to work on the solutions during the course of the video. Okay, but first, if you're new here, welcome. My name is Stephanie Perry. I'm a house sitter. I'm the creator of House Sitter School and the co-creator of Exodus Summit. And I help Black women take a sabbatical or career break. I help Black women move abroad. I help Black women bop around as a nomad, all while embracing ease. If any of these things sound good to you, make sure that you subscribe to my YouTube channel. Please hit the subscribe button. I'll give you just a second to do that. Thank you. Also, make sure that you ring that notification bell. Turn on notifications so you'll be notified when I post a new video or when I go live with my friends. Welcome. Hello, friends. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning, Kat from Rebloom Room. Good morning, R. Leonard. Good morning, Simi in Guatemala. Hola, buenos dias. Good morning, FM Stinson in Charlotte, North Carolina. Queens in the Queen City. Good morning, Nan Garvey and S. Staten. Good morning, Josette Compton. Thank you. It's a swimsuit cover up that I just wear as an outfit. Good morning, Shantavia and Leona and Kimberly and Winnie B. Good morning, Cheryl. Good morning, Jazz. Good morning, the classy hacker and Ballerina and Aileen Brown. Let's see if Connie Perry's. My mom's not here yet. Okay. Good morning, everyone. Good morning. The rules of engagement here, if you're new here, the rules are you say good morning in the chat, okay? If you're watching the replay, hello, friends in the future. I hope it's amazing there. You say hello in the comments, okay? That's rule number 1. Rule number 2, we talk to Black women with loving kindness, okay? And that's what we do around here. If you're new, welcome. Okay, so I want to talk to you about, I made up a test. I made this up, okay? So understand that. I made up a test to know if you have a job or if you have a master. And I'm going to share these questions with you right here, right now. And then we're going to work through them. And for each one, I think I'm going to point you, each one, I'm going to point you to a whole different resource. I've got a bunch of resources to point you to. Okay? Why is it important to talk about this thing? Because you can get fooled by the okey doke, right? We can get fooled into thinking we have the thing that we were aiming for when really we got a little piece of a kernel of the thing that we were aiming for, right? We just had the Juneteenth holiday, right? We're asking for, as Black people in the United States, we're asking for some stuff, not maybe, we're asking for reparations, right? We're asking for future things. We're asking to protect institutions like the Black people's right to vote, right? And instead, we get a holiday where everybody gets a day off work. Not almost everybody. Everybody except a lot of Black people in the service industries, right? So it's really possible to get fooled by the okey doke. And so I want to make sure all of us, not just me, all of us, I want to make sure that we have our eyes on the prize, and that we're not substituting one master for another. We're not substituting the institution of slavery for job shackles, the shackles of a job. So I'm going to read to you right now the 6. Okay, I got 6. It's a test. Let me get to the right place, okay? Number one question, how to know if you have a job or a master. You ready? Number one, is your job your pathway to validation and value? Number two, do you ask the question, I can't quit or I can't retire, I can't have, what would I even do if I didn't do this work? I can't retire because what would I even do? Number two question, does your job reciprocate your loyalty? Are you exercising lopsided loyalty to your job or to the work that you do inside of your job? Remember, we're going to go back and talk about each one of these individually. Number three, are you okay with your job controlling your healthcare access? If whether you live or dies, whether you get healthcare or not, depends on you having that job, you got a master. Number four, does your job control other ways you make money or other things? I maybe want to broaden that out. Does your job control what you can't do once you clock out? And number six, is your job no longer just a means to an end, but the end itself? Do you not view your job as just a way to get XYZ? Once you get XYZ, have you left that job? If you came to the job to get this and that, and you got this and that, why haven't you left the job? This is my test. Good morning, Mom. This is my test for job or master. And I don't think you need to, I think one or two, oops, one or two yeses to me says what you are in is not an employment situation, but a control situation. Okay? So let's work through these things individually, okay? For the first question was, is your job your pathway to value and validation? I didn't see anybody in the chat saying, yes, that's me. But seriously, for most Black women that I know who have a job is their pathway to feeling valued. Their job is their title, their career is their pathway to feeling like, oh, I'm a worthy person. Teachers and helpers gain their value, their sense of self-worth through their work. You act like you can stand here, look at me and act like you don't know what I'm talking about. But I do know what I'm talking about. Because who are you outside of your job? Who are you apart from your work? Some of you only got your job title, only got your certification, your degree, so that people would treat you with respect. The only reason you were interested in doing that thing in the first place, or advancing where you already were, was so that people would treat you with respect. That's not the purpose of a job. A job is not supposed to give us our value, and it's not supposed to validate us. It's not supposed to make us feel good about it's not supposed to be ourself, right? It's a means to an end. For some of us, a job is a way to make money to do XYZ. For some of us, a job is a way to meet people or learn a skill to do XYZ. But a job is not supposed to help you move through the world as a more worthy person. It's not supposed to help you gain respect. If you felt like people didn't respect you and you went to school or changed careers so you could have that respect, then you can't leave your job because your value is tied into the work that you do, right? You have created shackles for yourself because now I can't leave. If I am, Professor LCH is one of the only people in the chat acting like I know what I'm talking about. If I became a professor so people would treat me with respect, so I would be seen as a valued and worthy person, I must remain a professor. I can't change. I can't grow. I can't try other things. They have so much control over my life because of that. You don't have a job, friend. You have a master. All right. All right. The chat is very quiet. Okay. You can act like it's okay. Listen, it's early in the morning. Let me drink a little water. Let me drink a little water. You can act like I don't know what I'm talking about, but I've interviewed Minty, a black woman on this channel who have said that those very words. Okay. All right. I guess we can move on. Nobody, that's nobody here, apparently. That's nobody here. Maybe they're just maybe they slept in. Let me know in the replays. Let me know in the comments. Maybe everybody who did this and feels this way or has felt this way at some time in their life, maybe they're all sleeping in. So y'all let me know later when you watch the replays. Okay. If your job is your way of earning respect, earning value, you don't have a job, you have a master. The whole concept of you, a person, being the work is fruit of the slavery tree. Our value as Black people was in the work that we did or could do. That's not humanity. That's not how humanity is set up. That's how slavery is set up, right? Humanity doesn't value people based on the work that they do. Humanity doesn't value people based on their contribution to capitalism, to accumulating wealth. That's such a foreign concept in the United States that you're like, well, how do you decide what people are worth then? Right? We really do. We be like, well, how do I know if I respect you if I don't know what you do for a living? People ask you first what you do for a living, so they know how much respect to give you, so they know how to treat you. That's fruit of the slavery tree. That's not humanity. I'm convinced. So listen, if you don't want to hear somebody talk about the Bible, cover your ears for 30 seconds, right? If the Bible says, your Bible, right? Read your Bible sometimes. If your Bible says, Medea be like, read your Bible sometimes. Read your Bible. If the Bible says, what does it profit a man to gain the world and lose his soul? Then that means to me that it is possible to lose your soul. And it means to me the people who have gained the world, the colonizers, have no souls. They lost their souls. They have exchanged their souls for the world, right? If you can operate with no soul out in the world, then we know people with no soul in the world. These are the people who have gained the world in exchange for their souls. And we're operating under their systems. So things that seem normal to us are not normal. They're not healthy. They're not humane. They're not right. They're wrong, dead wrong, right? Because we're operating under systems developed by people who have gained the world and lost their souls. Some things seem so natural and true and real in the United States that are just wrong. But we don't see it that way because it's all we've known, right? Long as I've been alive, this has been, right? The fruit of the slavery tree has been in effect since well before I was around. So it seems normal, but it's not normal, okay? Having your worth tied up in your work is not human. That is soulless. It's soulless. If your work is the source of your value, that's the way people operate with no souls, people with no humanity. Black women, the best people, have so much humanity. We are humanity. And we got to sever ourselves from those systems of operation. Okay? If Eve, back to the Bible, if Eve was a black woman, the first woman, if she was a black woman, what the Bible said is, I need to make a helper, right? We translate Eve as a helper, but Eve was Ezer. She was a savior, a rescuer. Black women are rescuers and saviors of ourselves. We got to start with ourselves, right? We translate helper as something subservient. The Bible said Eve was a rescuer, a savior. That's you. That's me. Save yourself. Rescue yourself. Pull yourself out of these systems that are run by people with no humanity, because all they want to do is convince you that you also have no humanity. That's all they want to do. Strip you daily of your humanity. Is this Wanda Sykes? Does she say that? Not normal? This is not normal? I've been called Wanda Sykes on 6 continents. In every place I've been, somebody has been like, Wanda. I had a boss at when I worked at Barclays. He was like, Wanda Sykes. When I was smaller, thinner, I used to get it more. Right? Okay? We can't keep operating in systems set up by people with no souls who make it their work to strip us of our souls, of our humanity. Okay? So if your job, all this to say, hi Alicia Renese, if your job is your system of validating your worth, stop. Stop. You've got to be a person outside of your job. Okay, so I said I was going to give a resource. Okay, so if your job is your pathway to validation, then I think what you need is a good reconnection session with yourself. I'm going to link you to a book, which has been really helpful to me in my life in the past 2 years. I read the book a year and a half ago. Not even a year and a half ago. I'm going to link you to Rachel Cargill's book, A Renaissance of Our Own. Oh, let me find my comment section. Here. Maybe that's why I don't know what you're saying, because I don't have the right thing open. Okay, I'm going to link you to A Renaissance of Our Own by Rachel E. Cargill. A memoir and manifesto on reimagining. If the system, the way it's set up, is not set up for us, it's not set up for us to thrive, then we need to evaluate, we need to create, you need, not we, you, every single one of you need to create your own system, right? Your own set of values, your own way of, of looking at, approaching life and everything that is encompassed therein. And I think this is a helpful book. This is a helpful start. Rachel's book helps you figure out what do I actually value? What's actually important to me? And how do I live that out, right? Do I no longer want to value external validation? Do I no longer want to value money as the end all be all? Do I no longer want to value hard work and striving, climbing up the Black excellence ladder? What do I actually want to value? And how do I align my life and my day to, and how do I set up my life and my day in alignment with those values? Okay, so that's where I'm gonna point you to, okay? I think, even no matter how quiet the chat was, I think based on the number of Black women that I've had the pleasure of talking to over the last 5 or 6 years on this channel, I know that the majority of you, I'm going to extrapolate. Is that extrapolate or interpolate? I think it's I'm going to extrapolate based on the number of women I've talked to, the percentage of women who said those words. I'm going to say that the good percentage of you in this chat today, in this live stream later, have created, have a life where Your value is in the work that you do. You see your value in the work that you do. As a house sitter, I can tell you it's quite possible to feel like a valued, a worthy person without doing a whole lot of contributing to the capitalist system. It's quite possible to be a person who does as little as possible and see yourself as worthy. And I would like to point you to Rachel's book, A Renaissance of Our Own. I only don't have it with me because I stopped traveling with it. I traveled with the book for over a year, but I stopped traveling with it. I left it home in exotic Dover, Delaware, at my parents' house. I'm in Costa Rica. I'm in San Jose, Costa Rica. And I only don't have it to show it to you because I finally had to leave it, right? I needed to replace the books that I'm traveling with that. I'm stacked up on my books right now, but I'm stacked up on a few different books, but I don't have her book to show you right now, okay? Your job is not supposed to give you your sense of worth. You should be able to move through the world, whether you are the attorney or the unemployed person or something else. You should be able to move through the world feeling a tremendous amount of self-worth as a Black woman, as you, okay? Including as a Black woman. I do think there is intrinsic value and self-worth and yeah, because I am a Black woman, because I believe Black women are the best people. But even without that label, I still feel I'm a valuable, I am a valued, I am a worthy person. Okay? Okay. Tanaj and Tina have some of their best house sits in Costa Rica. I'm not house sitting right now, and I leave on Tuesday, so I won't be back to Costa Rica for about a month, but I'm not house sitting right now. Okay? It's okay. Z is with me. Hi, Z. Good morning. Good morning. And the Classy Hacker says Rachel's book is everything. Read it and work along with it, right? She's got questions in there. She's got some things that will help you work through this on your own. You don't just read the book, you work through the book, move through the book, and let it guide you, let her help guide you towards deciding for yourself what you value, who you are, and how you move through your life that way. Okay? Okay. All right, so number one test, the number one question on the test of do you have a job or do you have a master is your job your pathway to validation and value? It's okay to be honest with yourself and say, it was, but it's not anymore. Question number two, what would I even do if I didn't work? I put I and you in the same, whatever. Y'all get it. Y'all know what I'm saying. What would you even do if you're one of those? I've talked about this before on this channel. If you're one of those people who's like, oh, child, I can't retire. What would I even do? That's not the flex you think it is. What you're saying is, I am not a whole person. I am just a worker. If you don't know, if you had free money, if you had the ability to live because of Social Security and pension, because of retirement, because of alimony, because of lottery winnings, because of something, something, right? Because you just had it like that, because it's just life is free for you, right? But you're like, oh, I gotta work. I have to work. What would I even do if I had free time? What would I even do? I hear that a lot. This is the thing. Nobody's gonna raise their hand and say that's me, but I know you're in here. Okay, you're in here. That's not a flex. What you're saying is, I'm not a whole person. I'm a worker. That's fruit of the slavery tree. You're going to see a common theme today. Okay, that's capitalism talking. That's slavery talking. That's America talking. Okay, you're supposed to be a whole person. You're supposed to have interests. You're supposed to enjoy some free time with yourself where you don't do anything. I have time in my day where I don't do anything. But I sit with myself because I like myself because I am a worthy person. What would I eat? Right? Yes. Okay. So Tanaj, hey. So yes, somebody gonna act like they haven't said it when I know they've said it because I do coaching calls. Because I have a YouTube channel. I don't know how many black women in the last 5 years I have had like an in-depth conversation with, but it's a lot. Maybe you just don't want to put on YouTube, that's you. But it's you. Hello, Black Tornado. Right? What would I even do is a sign that you're not a whole person, you're a worker. And I don't think you believe that's what your life is supposed to be. I don't think you believe that. You might be operating in that way right now, but I don't think you truly believe your life. You were given the gift of life and breath and a soul. I don't think you believe you were given those things to be a worker. I don't think you believe that, but you're living like that. Stop. Stop. Thank you. Okay? If you don't know what you would even do if you had free time, you're not a whole person. Spend some time becoming a whole person. Okay? Yes, everyone is so busy. Let's see, not intentionally, but you realize, wow, everybody is so busy, and it's easy to want to get caught into it if you're not mindful. This is why we are different people in different places, right? You can be a different person in a different place. When I'm back in the United States, there's a natural inclination for me to do more, be more of a worker, right? First of all, everything is expensive. But in Costa Rica is not a cheap place, right? So it's not, it's not like it's that much of a difference between the cost of things. But there is a natural the move in that place is work hard, hustle. That's why I put a lot of time and effort into helping black women be in a different place, get out of that place and be in a different place. Some places just make you feel like you have to be doing more, doing something, hustle, grind, no sleep. Some of you live in very black excellence neighborhoods, right? You live in a place where everybody has a big house and they're working on getting the bigger house. Everybody has a big expensive car and they're working on getting a bigger, more expensive car. Everybody goes on these vacations and they're working on taking bigger, more expensive vacations, right? Some of you are in that environment daily, and that's why we spend so much time talking about leaving. Leave that place. Leave it, right? You are different in different environments, and you can be in a more chill, relaxed, laid back environment where you are a person, not a worker. And you can have a whole life. There are places where it's really conducive to having a whole life, right? In Costa Rica, now in San Jose, now that I know some people, now that I know a handful of people, it's hard. I have to. It would be very easy if I was a different type of person. It would be very easy for me to be like Miss Social Butterfly, where that's not my personality. But in Costa Rica and San Jose, it's really easy to be little Miss Social Butterfly, right? Different places make it conducive to being different things or pulling out different parts of yourself, maybe. Those black women in Lisbon, Portugal, Krishan, Halisi, they out here living, getting together, doing and going and being. Them black women in Panama, Mary, they down there in Panama City, they down there getting together and doing and being out, learning new things, having experiences, adventuring. Different places are conducive to different things, make different things easier and more accessible. So that's why we talk so much about being in a different place. Like, seriously, you can leave the United States of America if you can, right? There are people who your passport is tied up into a whole lot of BS, right? But if you have a passport or have access to a passport, you have access to a different life. Without a passport, you still have access to it, but you have to be a whole lot more discerning, I guess, about where you go and who you're around. Yes, Tanaj said, Tanaj and Tino, every time I come back to the US, I feel like I'm not doing enough. I never feel that way abroad. It's in the air. The United States is built on the foundation that your value as a person is in the work that you do. You can't escape it. It's in the air. It's built into every institution. It's in every person that you talk to. It's out in the world. You would need to separate yourself. Leave. Go somewhere else. And MH knows when I decided to stop selling real estate, people thought I was crazy. I got tired of the stress and being on 24/7, even on vacations. Yes, that's not living. That's not living. If your community of people don't get it, you just need to access a new community of people. I don't mean you ditch the other people. I don't mean you ditch people. You can if you want to. I'm fine with that, frankly, right? But what I'm saying is you need to be in community with people who normalize the things that you do. If you do as little as possible, be in community with people, with women who are like, oh, I'm doing as little as possible. Thank you. If you want to bop around the world, travel here, travel there, be in community with Black women who are into that. If you want to house sit, be in community with Black women who are house sitting, right? So if you're a person who's like, oh, I don't know that I'm a full, whole human, I'm viewing myself as a worker, and I want to stop. I'm done with that. Then let me point you to my book. Okay, my book you can pre-order Job Detox, a framework for Black women to stop striving and get free at jobdetox.com. I'm gonna get you the link. Oh, maybe I don't have it. It's in the description. All of the links that I'm sharing are in the description of this video already because I was so organized this morning. So organized. I worked on my outline and I put together some resources for every point in my outline. Please stick around and watch this video. I put work in this thing, okay? Also hit the like button on this video. I put some work in this thing. And you can hit the share button. You can hit the share button right now. Share it somewhere, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, email it to somebody, okay? If you think that there's some Black women out there who would like to have this conversation, invite them in, please, okay? Thank you. Okay, Job Detox, a framework for Black women to stop striving and get free. My book is out this summer, okay? You can get on the wait list at jobdetox.com. TAMS. I feel so confident and valued. It's so liberating and empowered. It's so liberating for me, and I love my life now. What a difference real liberation makes, right? Not the false liberation of here, have a holiday. Here, have an extra holiday. Not the false liberation, but the real liberation. Really looking at and evaluating what things in my life have a say that I don't want to have a say. What things in my life are in charge? What are the masters? Who are the masters in my life? And then liberating yourself from those things. What a good feeling. What a feeling. All right, join us, okay? Join us on this side of things. All right. So, yes, okay. Girl Please says, I believe that's why U.S. healthcare and insurance is tied to employment, namely corporations. So we're forever into being workers. They need our bodies to work for them. That's right. So the next question, let's skip. Does your job, number 4, does your job control your access to healthcare, and are you okay with that? This is exactly the point. This is exactly the point. Somebody right now is like, huh? There are, I don't know, 200 countries in the world, and there are tens of countries that have universal health care for their people. The government provides health care. Just like in the US, for the most part, the government provides a K through 12 education. And it doesn't seem strange to us that people go to public schools, right? Now, if you want private school, you go to a private school. If you don't want to, if you want to opt out of, you can homeschool if you want. But the government provides people with some base level of education in this country for now. For now, right? In a lot of the world, I don't know how many countries, but probably half, literally, countries provide a basic level of health care for their people. Healthcare is not tied to your work status. Having healthcare tied to your work status is a choice that the US has made on purpose so that you have to be a worker to live. It's a choice. We talked to Tiffany in Exodus Summit 2021. Tiffany McLean went to France to learn French, got herself a student visa, which was not terribly difficult, and got herself enrolled in, I think, a 6-month French program. And they were like, you have until this date to enroll in Social Security, which is what they call their overall, socialist system. I think it includes healthcare and other things. You have until this date to enroll in Social Security or you're in trouble. Enroll in our healthcare, right? I think Panama, well, it used to be, I don't know. Pandemic has changed a lot of things, but it used to be in Panama, even tourists, when you entered Panama on a tourist visa, you filled out a little healthcare thing. You had access to some public health care. This is probably not, everything is different now. But back when I was planning my sabbatical back in 2015, even tourists got access to some level of public health care in the country of Panama. Having your health care tied to your work status in the United States is a choice that this country has made to keep us bound, to keep people bound, to not liberate, to not have a liberated population of people, right? So if your job is in control of your health care, you may very well be on the master side of things. You may very well have a master and not a job. How do you separate yourself from that? Listen, this whole video is designed to, my whole channel is designed to get you to consider moving to another country. Okay? You don't have to ask that question. That is my agenda. I have an agenda, and it is for Black women to leave the United States, also Canada, also the UK, right? But I've never lived there. But that's my agenda, to get us to a place where we can live a more liberated life, a life where we have access to the things that we want, a life where we can be ourselves, a life where we can feel safe. That's my agenda. You don't have to guess, okay? You don't have to guess. All right? Healthcare. So if your job is controlling your access to healthcare, but you're like, you know what, I actually would like to move abroad. Which resource should I point you to? Let's see. Because I switched order, so now I got to switch the order of things. I'm going to send you to Exodus Summit Move Abroad Money. Exodus Summit Move Abroad Money is a virtual conference that has already happened, but that has replays where you will learn how to make money separate from a traditional job so that you can be wherever you want to be in the world. If you would like to move to France, where they have Social Security, where they have universal health care, or Costa Rica, where they have universal health care, or any of the other dozens, 10, I'll say like, I don't know that 100 countries have universal health care, but it's probably close to 100 that have some sort, right, some sort of public health care for people that is not tied to their work status, right? Mexico, right. If you want to do that, but you still need money to live. Like me, I still need to make more money to live, right? I have not hit financial freedom. I have not hit the money where I'm like, I don't need to make another dollar to live my life, right? If you're like me, then Exodus Summit Move Abroad Money is a resource for you where will learn how to make money separate from a traditional job. And you can be in a place where you have access to healthcare. Okay? Okay, Teresa, thank you. Let me fix it. It's vicarious.com/job detox, but I thought I changed it I thought I made another one that's just jobdetox.com. Let me give you the old link. Let me give you the old link. If you go back to, did I put it in there? Yes, okay. How long, hey Raven, how long are the replays from Exodus Summit Move Abroad money once you purchase it? So we had there was a tier where you had access for the weekend, and then there was a tier for access for, let me look. I'm gonna go right here. I'm gonna go to exodussummit.com/money. Exodus Summit Move Abroad Money's link is exodussummit.com/money. I'm gonna go right there and I'm gonna tell you. I'm gonna look it up. 1 year. 1 year. Okay, so you can either watch the sessions for a weekend, 3 days, or you can watch the sessions for 1 year. 2 different tickets. Okay? Sessions, oh, I just closed it. Why did I close it? I need to tell you what sessions. The most watched sessions, I think, instead of reading every session, because I think we had 20 sessions, right? Instead of reading every session to you, maybe I can share with you the most watched sessions, just so that you can see what those are probably the sessions that most of you would be interested in because most of our attendees were interested in, right? That's my logic, but you should still go to the link and look at the sessions yourself so that you can see what's what. Most watched sessions, okay? Number one, virtual sex work that pays, okay? Feet pics and phone sex. This is not for everyone, but it is for someone. There are plenty of men out there looking for somebody to separate them from their money. And some of the women in these spaces are making good money. Number two was finding remote jobs. Libria Jones, who is the creator of the Quit Commuting Summit, helps people find truly remote work, not just work from home, but work from anywhere. I don't like your jobs that don't care where you are in the world. Those do exist, right? Number one, feed pics and phone sex. Number two was finding remote jobs. Number three, most watched session was make money from your knowledge, skills, and talents. Rashida taught that session on Rashida's a coach, right? So it's on what you taking what you already know and making money from that separate from a traditional job. Next most watched session was Teacher Jade's session on earning income, teaching anything online. So separate from coaching is teaching, right? Teaching online, there are teach online platforms where people are teaching English to people who are not native English speakers. People are teaching how to cook. People are teaching how to sew. People are teaching how to create a lead magnet, how to do your own website, how to lose 10 pounds with perimenopause, how to hire your first employee in your business, right? How to teach anything online. That was the next most watched session. And then the next, let's see, top 5. The next one would be building a business and community and network abroad, which is a little vaguer, but those were the top 5 most watched sessions. But we have other sessions. Go to exodussummit.com/money. exodussummit.com/money. Look at the sessions there. If there was a session if there's a session in there that you're like, oh, this is how I would like to make money to be free from a traditional job, get it. Get it, watch it, do it. We have quite a few women in here who went to the Move Abroad Money Summit, who went to Exodus Summit Move Abroad Money, and are now making money that way. I know Marissa Price is here. Marissa went to that summit. Now she's a virtual assistant and she teaches other people, and a freelancer, and she teaches other people that exact thing, right? All from going to the sessions. That for her, the helpful sessions were probably on freelancing, and also there was something very closely related. plus Rashida's session on teaching, on doing what you already know online, right? Rashida's session, doing what you already know online, the session on freelancing. There were 3 sessions, I think, because used to be a virtual assistant. Let me look at the list. I felt like there were 3 sessions during the summit where I was like, these are sessions that I would have needed then. I'm on the website and Rashida starts talking when you click on. Also, Team Zekas is not the session I wasn't thinking about. Team Zekas' session on earning the salary you deserve is a good session for people who are like, what are my skills? She helped break down, what are your skills? What can you do that is separate from the job title that you're thinking about? I think I'm thinking about Sojourner's session, freedom and flexibility, breaking into remote work with a traditional 9 to 5. I think those were the sessions I was thinking about. Okay. All right. So that was number 2. No, number 4, which is really number 3 now. Does your job control your access to health care? Also, is the main reason you need that health care because your job is making you sick, right? Do you have high blood pressure because your job is giving you high blood pressure? Can you not see how that's a snake eating its own tail? Right? Can you not see the trap you're in? You can't leave your job because of the health care, but you need extra health care because of your job. Can you not see how that might be a problem? That might be a trap. How that might be systemic, a designed system to keep you where you are. Can you see that? I don't know. Maybe you can't see it. I see it. I see it. Anybody have a job that made them sick and then you had to use your health care? Right? Like, well, maybe I would have been better off with no job and being someplace where there's public health care than being here with this job, this quote unquote good job, and this quote unquote good health care. It's all a trap. It's all a trap. All right. I think y'all seem pretty quiet today. Maybe it's me. I've been up all day. It's only 8:49 in Costa Rica, but I've been up for hours, like hours and hours. So maybe I started a little strong and y'all are just waking up and getting your day started. Maybe. Okay? Maybe. All right, so number 3, which is now number 4, test. We're talking about the test to see if you have a job or a master. Okay? The number 3, which is also number 4 maybe, is does your job reciprocate your loyalty? You know these jobs ain't loyal. Some of you think you're not loyal to your jobs, but you haven't quit it. You haven't found something better. It's easy to say, I'm not loyal to my job, but you don't like it and you're still there, right? We've listed some resources on where you can find better work, or where you can do something different than a traditional job, or where you can just retire. Some of y'all have the money to retire, right? But instead you're there because you're loyal to the job or to the work. Maybe not the company. You might not be loyal to the company, but you're loyal to the work that you do to the detriment of yourself, right? I'm a helper, I'm a social worker. I can't leave. I can't stop. Who's going to take care of these people? I'm a nurse, I'm a teacher. I can't leave it. I can't stop doing it. Who's gonna? All right? I'm in public this. I'm in that. I work in a nonprofit. I can't stop. Who's gonna? That's a loyalty that is not being reciprocated. Because if your brother is sick and you need to take some time off to take care of your brother, they're going to be like, no, you're fired. It's not being reciprocated. right? So that's number 3 or number 4. Brown girls invest too. My job tried to get rid of me before I was able to claim all my benefits. It didn't work out for them. Good, good. Get yours. Get yours. Yeah, Truckerette says we have to maintain health insurance in the USA. That's why I'm saying leave. Right. I have an agenda. My whole agenda. Life is better for black women outside of the United States. Leave the United States. Find a place you're going to like better and go there and live there. I have an agenda, right? I've been pretty forward. I want you to quit your job. I want you to leave the country. I want you to find a better way. I think that the foundation of slavery in this country means it is hopeless. I believe that. Not this country because I'm not there. I believe that. I don't think there's fixing it. I believe that colonizers have gained the world and lost their souls. And I believe that there's no hope. And I believe that there is a better life somewhere else. People, as long as people have had feet, they have moved from one place to another for a better life. Our unusual loyalty to our country is a result of propaganda, it's a result of slavery. It's a result of America being really good, really, really good at propaganda. That's why I have an agenda. I've seen too many black women have a better life outside of the United States for me to be like, oh, we'll stay. Too many. Too many. I've seen too many. Every time I go somewhere, here I am meeting up with black women who are just happy, at peace, at ease, in community with each other, not being the lone wolf in their lives, but being like in community with each other, hanging out together, caring for each other's families. I've seen it too much for me to be like, oh, well, stay in the US. I have an agenda. Okay? I have an agenda. For some of you, you don't necessarily want to leave long term. I still want you to go short term. Take a sabbatical and go. I still want it for you. You might change your mind, you might not, but that's my agenda. Mar, who we talked to not long ago, speaking of seeing black women out of the US who are at peace. I talked to Lamar on this channel a few months ago, early this year, very early this year. She's 60, solo mystic traveler. She says, good morning, everyone. I'm weeding the garden and listening in from the Cayman Islands. Mars in the Caribbean, living her life at ease, at peace. I don't remember where in the US Mar was from. Somewhere. Okay? Now, at ease. I have an agenda, okay? El Cid, my problem is different. I like my job and the director. Hard to leave when you like it. You can still take a break. You can still take a break, right? If that job and that director that you like also reciprocally like you, they want you to live your life. If there's no sabbatical policy, no long-term leave policy, they still don't see you as a person. They still see you as a worker. You should have a full life. And we should not be expected to dedicate our lives from our teens to 67 or 72. We should not be able to be expected to dedicate every single day of every single month of every single year to that job. Saying I'm taking 3 months to go such and such should not send your job into a tizzy if they see you as a person and not a worker. I use my mom as an example all the time, but my mom was a hospital pharmacist. I was a hospital pharmacy technician. My mom was a hospital chaplain. And when her brother had cancer, she was dying from cancer. She needed to take him to appointments, and she just needed some time. He moved in with her and my dad. He moved in with them, and she needed some time. And they acted like she was asking for the world. Now, Connie Perry, she gonna do what she gonna do, okay? She gonna do what she gonna do. But I mean, they acted like, I don't know. If you're a whole person expected to operate within a family, if you're a whole person expected to have interests, a whole person has some sort of family unit. Doesn't have to be a traditional family. A whole person has connection with other people that is reciprocal and whatever. Shortcut for that is a family, but it's whatever you decide it is, right? A whole person has their own interests. A whole person has some sort of like inner life, spiritual life, something, right? If your job is in the way of you operating in those systems, they don't see you as a whole person. They see you as a worker. If your job won't let you do XYZ, won't let you care for your own family, forget that job. Forget that job. Natalia says, I'm a nurse. Servant is in the job description. That's exactly why. A lot of people have chosen not to be a nurse, right? Right? Oh, Shakia Hayes, hi. Yeah, this is a new name. Welcome. I'm in Jaco, Costa Rica. It really had me thinking this morning. My job was literally killing me. I've been on leave for 2 months. I'm so glad you're on leave. I hope you're enjoying Costa Rica. I hope you're letting Costa Rica heal you some. I don't know any people there. I've never even been to Jaco. Most of the, so all the people I know, right, because I've only been here, are in the San Jose area up into like Gracia and stuff and over to Cologne. But I hope you found a way to connect with some people just a little bit, right? Heal, take time, enjoy that enjoy that time, okay? And let Costa Rica do what it can do for you. Let Costa Rica heal you. Let the food and the nature, let the peace heal you. Costa Rica is really a peaceful place. It's not for everyone. It's not, if you're a city person, it's not for you. If you like things to do, it's not for you, okay? I'm telling you, it's boring and it's not the most infrastructurally developed sound place, right? Roads are terrible, traffic is terrible, not a whole lot of good transportation options, right? But if you want to come to a place and sit down and do nothing, it is a choice. It's not the choice, but it's a choice. I'm here. Okay. All right. So we were saying we're on number three or four. Is your job reciprocating your loyalty? TJ, I really can't complain about my job. Working remotely since COVID has changed my life. Good. More time for relaxing, working out, tending to my garden. Unfortunately, I can only work domestically for in that job, but there's other jobs. There's other jobs. That's loyalty. That's probably not being reciprocated. Seriously, I'm not saying quit your job with no plan. I'm saying that there are resources that can help you find a job that can let you live your full life, right? Now I'm assuming a lot. I'm assuming that you want to be international because you said, unfortunately, I can only work domestically. I'm interpreting that to hear that you want to be a bopping around the world or go someplace else, right? Either a whole lot of leave time, right? Some jobs will give you a whole lot of leave time. It's just not an American thing. But some jobs will give you a whole lot of time to travel, and you'd be like, okay, good. Keep it. Keep that job. If they treat you with respect, they give you easy access to your benefits, keep the job. Get more leave time. But if that's not the option, if getting the amount of time you want to travel is not an option on that job, we don't have to stay loyal to jobs. Loyalty to jobs is because we are Americans and this country was built on a foundation of slavery. Being loyal to a job is fruit of the slavery tree. A job is just a job. A job is just a job. Loyalty to things that are not loyal to us is over. We're done with that. Fruit of the slavery tree. Loyalty to a job. We didn't say loyalty to a partner. Loyalty to a job. We talking about jobs? Jobs? Give it up. Give it up. There's other jobs out there. There are jobs out there that don't care where you are in the world. Okay, that's why I brought up Exodus Summit Move Abroad Money. Go to exodussummit.com/money. exodussummit.com/money. There are sessions on finding work, finding a job, or doing a thing that you can do from anywhere in the world. They exist and they're real. The job should not have the say on whether or not, the job should not have to force you to give up on a dream. That's a master. Everybody, right? Your job should not force you to just squash an entire dream. And it's okay if you have a dream to see the world. Your job should contribute to that, not close the door on that. Loyalty to a job is fruit of the slavery tree. Liberate yourself and get you some European friends. Friends who are actually living in, friends who were born and raised, and their parents and their grandparents were born and raised in Europe will open your eyes to a different approach to jobs. A job is just a job. A job is not the source of your value and worth. A job should not control your life. A job should not force you to shut the door on your dreams. A job is just a job. Them Germans, them Swedes, they have a whole different perspective on what jobs are. It's just a job. It's not your life. It's not your boss. It's not your master. It's a job. Anytime you say, I want to do X but my job, that job is your master. There's jobs out there. You have, as a Black woman, like, who said this? Oh, I wish I could say quote the person. It was in Kimani's summit. Dr. Kimani and Marissa Price hosted the Job Liberation Virtual Summit for Black women. And somebody said, they're not just handing out jobs to every Black woman, right? The fact that you have a job means that you are overqualified, right? I know you might think that it would be really difficult, but as a Black woman, the fact that you got your job in the first place, the fact that you have your career in the first place means you have more skill, more qualification than the average person. I hope you feel like that frees you up to look around. Look around. Don't stay loyal to your job. I don't think anything good comes from it. I haven't seen anything good come from somebody being loyal to their job. Not in this day and age. In the post-pension era, I haven't seen it. I haven't seen it. I don't think, and Black Pepper, I don't think that you have job security if your income is tied to a job. That's not job security because they can fire you. Oh, one of the students in the Get Your Next Three Clients Challenge, Celeste, whose channel is, Celeste, are you here? Tell us the name of your channel. You don't have job security if you have a job in the United States. You don't have job security if you have a job in the United States. I hope that sets you free. You don't have job security if you have a job in the United States. Have you not walked into a job and seen somebody fired? You don't have job security if you have jobs in the United States. That's Europe. Get you a new job. I didn't tell anybody, and you're saying I'm emotional, I didn't tell anybody to quit a job with no plan. I've never quit a job with no, well, I have quit a job with no plan in my younger days. But I'm not telling anybody to quit. I said, look around. I pointed you to Libria Jones, who has gotten many a Black woman in this very community a better job. I've pointed you to resources. You don't have job security if you have a job in the United States. Celeste's channel, she just talked about this, right? They can fire you when they want. You don't have job security if you have a job in the United States. Europeans have job security. You can't fire a European. And let's see, who? Maybe there are fields in the US. Is there a field in the US where they can't just fire you? Teachers, I think, they seem to put teachers on paid leave. Teachers, maybe a teacher has job security. I'm thinking. But you don't have job security if you have a job in the United States. They will fire you tomorrow. Her video was really good. She talked about how if you work for a company that is traded on this, if you work for a company that has shareholders, right, they have to lay off every now and then. They got to lay people off to please the shareholders, to make it look like profits are increasing. They have to lay people off on the regular. If you have a job for a US company, you don't have job security. That's a lie. They can't just fire teachers. Okay, so maybe teachers, police are never fired. Okay, so the public sector, not all of the public sector, but some of the public sector has job security. But when I worked for Christiana Hospital, I didn't have job security. I got a paycheck. But any day now, I could be gone. When I worked for Barclays Bank, I didn't have job security. Even in the Army, they'll put you out, right? They can put you out of the military. If you work for a company in the United States, you don't have job security. So Celeste must not be here this morning. You can't type if you're typing something, Celeste, you can't type your channel name. I mean, you can't type a link, but you can type your channel name. I'm sorry. I don't think, my history is going to be, it's going to be too hard to go back through my history and find your video because I watched all the students' videos in the challenge this week. Celeste helps people find contract work instead of traditional employment. I'm scrolling and scrolling. It's too much, too many. I watched it on Thursday though. Why is it? Oh, because I probably was logged into the Exodus Summit account. I'm sorry, I can't find it. One day I'll send it out in the email. Right? If you don't work, if you ever walked in your job and somebody was fired, then you don't have job security. Right? So I don't think it pays to be loyal to a job. I don't think what I'm saying is all that inflammatory. Reset with Celeste is the name of Celeste's channel. Thank you, Danica, who is Big Sis Doula. Thank you. Reset with Celeste is the name of her channel. I don't think what I'm saying is all that strange. Don't be loyal to your job. Get a job that fits your needs. I don't think that what I'm saying is so high pie in the sky because somebody in here today has a job that fits her needs. If you think that that's so strange, I feel how sad for y'all, right? How sad for someone who thinks it's impossible to find a job that fits your needs. Reset with Celeste. That's her channel, but her video is called Live. It was a live stream. Job security is a myth. Real security for mid-career Black women in marketing. Okay? All right. I don't think it's that strange. I don't think it's that strange to say your job should not get in the way of you living your life. And if it does, you need to get a better job. A different job. Find a job that fits your needs. If your job is getting in the way of living your life, that job is your master. There are other jobs. Now, I didn't say the job you do, I didn't say click your heels 3 times and you have a better job. I pointed you to resources where you can do the work to find a better job. Now I'm getting upset. Let me calm down. I didn't say click your heels 3 times. I said here are resources where you can get a better job. If your immediate response is whatever, the job is good, but here's a problem. Here is a problem with the job. Instead of just accepting that, Find what fits your needs. Thank you. Okay, Yvonne says be gentle. Okay, thank you, Yvonne, for that. Okay, well, let me take some water and calm down. Okay, be gentle. Okay, gentle. I started off saying we talk to Black women with loving kindness. So let me do that in a loving, kind way. You can do better. You can do better. The job you have today is not the best you can do. And I'm pointing you today to resources so that we can do better. Okay? There's something out there somebody already has a job that fits their needs. You are worthy of that. Do it. Get it. Work on it. Find it. Okay? All right. Okay. Okay. All right. So the questions, what number are we on? Number 5, does your job control other ways you make money or other things? Does your job control another part of your life that is none of their business? Probably. Probably. Right? Is why there are women in the challenge this week who are like, oh, I can't do this. Refund. I can't do this. Right? My job cannot know that I have outside interests. They're going to be so punitive once they find out I'm doing X, Y, something unrelated in your free time. There are women who pay for the Get Your Next 3 Clients Challenge and then leave the Get Your Next 3 Clients Challenge on day 0 before we even get started because they say, listen, I just can't. My job cannot know that I teach English on the side or that I help people move abroad on the side or that I whatever, that I cook, that I sew. That's a master. Okay? So far, I've pointed you to Exodus Summit, Move Abroad Money. I've pointed you to 2 books, Rachel Cargill's book, A Renaissance of Our Own, a memoir and manifesto on reimagining. And I've pointed you to my book, Job Detox, a framework for Black women to stop striving and get free. I'm going to now point you to From Burnout to Bliss. From Burnout to Bliss is Rashida Dow's group coaching program for Black women who are ready to go from burnout to bliss. Whether your end goal is a sabbatical or career break, or your end goal is a move abroad, or your end goal is working remotely and bopping around the world, or bopping around the world with no job, right? Rashida Dow coaches Black women to get to that end, right? To not keep it only as a dream. To not only be like, oh, it would be nice, but to actually live it, to actually do it. There's quite a few from Burnout to Bliss alum in the chat today. It is a group coaching program that you can join. I believe you can join at any time, so you can pop in. You can join it today. You don't need to wait. But she does group coaching twice per month. Okay, I don't know the schedule. Okay, I just know that Black women in this chat are always like, I was in From Burnout to Bliss group coaching, and now I'm whatever, right? Now I'm on sabbatical. Now I've quit my job. Now I've moved abroad. I made a link for you, vicarious.com/bliss. It's also in the description of this video, okay? If you think a sabbatical would be wonderful, but you don't know how you would swing it, get coaching, right? If you think a move abroad would be amazing, but oh, it seems like so much work and so much effort, get coaching. The only difference between the women who have done it and the women who haven't done it, it's not the type of job they have, it's not the amount of money they have, it's the support, it's the coaching that they have. The support makes the difference. You'd be surprised ways that women have been able to do things that seem impossible, right? There are women who have joined from burnout to bliss and have found, because Rashida coached them on how to get into the employee handbook, have found company policies that the company didn't publicize that let them take significant time off. There are women who have used money that was earmarked for something else to take their sabbatical, their career break. A lot of different ways. There are women who have stepped down from high stress, high pressure work and are doing something more relaxed, less pressure, less stress, and still being able to afford to take a sabbatical, right? So get coaching. Thank you. You can figure things out on your own, but listen, we don't do that anymore. When we need help, we get help. All right? So if you are in a non reciprocal relationship with your job, I hope you fix that. And I'm pointing you to From Burnout to Bliss. Okay, let's see. Number 6, is your job okay, let me start from the beginning. Number 6 is your job a means to an end, or is your job the end? I think a job should be a means to an end. Okay? This whole video, we've talked about that. Your job shouldn't be your Marissa is a From Burnout to Bliss student. Hi, Marissa. Marissa now lives in Guadalajara, Mexico, living her life, right? While running her business from Mexico. If so, jobs are supposed to be a means to an end. I looked the definition up not too long ago. Task or piece of work, especially that one is paid for. No, it was a different definition. Let's keep scrolling. Paid position. Oh, you know what? I think it was definition of employment. Condition of having paid work, profession, act of giving work to someone. I don't know. There was some definition that said, "Oh yeah, this is just this is just a means to an end." It wasn't the task definition. Casual work, buy and sell stocks, public something, job, something pointed or threat. Oh, jab. That's funny. Never mind. What is the best definition? Merriam-Webster. Let's go to Merriam-Webster. Given service for hire. Come on, Merriam-Webster. I know it was you. State of affairs. Done for private advantage. A piece of work. A regular position. Remunerative. A piece of work. Let's look up work. I don't want to look up work. I don't want to keep doing this. Perform, produce. I don't know. I wish I'd kept that somewhere. I probably did copy and paste it somewhere. I want evidence that a job is a means to an end. But I can't find where I found the definition that said that. But Merriam-Webster says a job is something that has to be done, a task. If your job is not your sense of worth, if your job is not your way of, do you like the typing sound? I do co-working sessions on my other channel. I have a channel called Stephanie Perry Media where I do co-working sessions, and I don't mute because people like the sound of people typing. If your job is a means to an end and not your source of value as you move around the world, then there should be a deadline. You should know I got what I came for. I got what I came for. I told the story, I think on Rashida's channel, about how, or maybe, I think it was actually on Krishan's channel on Blacks at Global. I told the story about how or maybe Kimani's channel? I don't know. My very first job, I saw a coat at Burlington Coat Factory when I was like 15 or 16. I saw a coat and it was outside. My mom was like, I'm not paying that much for that coat. I'm not paying that much. So I got a job so I could get the coat. And I worked the job. And when I had enough money to buy the coat, I quit the job and bought the coat. And Rashida was like, Stephanie said, get your coat and leave. Right? And so I wrote that down and I put that in my book. Get your coat and leave. Know what you're doing there. Know what you're there for at that particular job. Like I said, I still need to make money to live, but I don't need to be tied to that particular job to make the money to live. Right? So why are you on that particular job? If that job is to give you a specific skill set, a finite amount of experience, and so much of a network, right? Other people who know what you do, right? Do you have that already? Can we not go somewhere else? Can we not go somewhere better? Can you not take your coat and leave? I'm not telling anybody to go somewhere with no plan, right? This is not a no plan channel. If you've ever heard me talk about anything, right? I got plans. I got plans on plans on plans. This is not a no plan channel. I'm here to talk about the loyalty to a particular job and also like just the overall loyalty to working, right? The overall loyalty to being a worker. Okay. It was in the summit. Okay. Hi, Kimani. Kimani and Marissa Price hosted the Job Liberation Virtual Summit for Black Women. Replays are available at, I may have a link still, Job Liberation Virtual Summit. Okay. Since the typing doesn't sound bad, let's go ahead and do more typing. Jobliberation.heysummit.com. Copy, paste. All right, speakers came in to talk about things like getting your money right, getting your sleep right, healing from toxic job experiences so that in your next job, you're not feeding into repeating the cycle. Okay. All right. Um, Thank you, Kimani. Yeah, right. Take your coat and leave is my message with jobs. I think that when we go into a job, we should know what that particular job is going to do for us, right? I'm going to a conference. It's different, but I'm actually, I talked to a lady later this afternoon because I want to speak at a conference. And I want to speak at the conference because I think I want to be friends with some of the women who are the attendees. I want some of the attendees in that conference to become part of my network, right? It's not a job, but it's a similar approach to things. If you approach your job like, here's some skills I want to either you get or use, right? Here's some skills I want to be able to use so that I can move up and do this new thing and then do this new thing. That's fine. Here's a network I need. Here's some people I need to have in my network. I'm at this job so I can get these people into my network. Good. I think that's a healthy approach to jobs. I'm at this job so I can make X number of dollars, right? I want my retirement account to have X number of dollars. I think these are healthy approaches to jobs. But when you get that stuff, leave. Get your coat and leave. To a new job, to retirement, to something totally different, to a sabbatical where you come back to work, take your coat, get your coat and leave. If you don't even know why you're at your job right now, right, you don't have a specific goal, not just to make, your specific goal can be, I need to make $5,000 per month to fund my lifestyle, right? Is that your specific goal? You have to know that. Again, if the job is standing in the way of the rest of your life, you can make that money somewhere else. Find a better way to make that money and still live your full life. But if you, listen, a lot of the women in this audience are in their 60s. Maybe that's part of the reason that, what's her name, thought I was being, not being realistic to you. A lot of women in this audience are in their 60s. Why are you there? Why are you working? Why are you working? What do you want to get out of that job? What do you expect to get out of that job? Take your coat and leave. Baby girl H2O, my first job was for sneakers and a down coat with a fox fur collar that my parents wouldn't buy for me. Yes, I still remember that coat. I had it for years. It was good quality. Back in the day, you could keep things. Good quality. It was a size 14. It was a camel colored camel hair coat. It had a shawl collar, and then I bought a gold pin to put on the collar. It was beautiful. I used to wear it to church. I don't know if I ever wore it anywhere but to church. But we went to church all the time, so I wore it a lot. It was a beautiful coat. It was too much, right? Too much money. But it was beautiful. I got that coat and I left. And I didn't work again until I was either 15 or 16. And I didn't work again until the summer after, no, the summer before I graduated. So I worked again the summer I turned 17. Yeah, I'll take my coat and leave. Know what you are in that job for. Hey, LaRonda from the Over 60 Brigade. LaRonda retired not long ago. Yeah, why are you there? If you can't write out why you're at your particular job, not just why you're working, but why are you at this particular job, you can do better. There's something better. Take your coat and leave. Okay? Sandra said, Sandra from Legacy to Lack, I say that backwards all the time. Sandra from Lack to Legacy, from Lack to Legacy says, treat your job like a sugar daddy. Okay? We love it. Know what you're there to get. Get what you came for at the conference that I went to in Puerto Rico. Pearl, one of this. No, you know who it was? It was Beyonce's, the lady who runs Beyonce's. It's not a charity, but her doing good arm. It's called Be Good, BEY, Be Good, right? Beyonce gives money away, and that organization is called Be Good. And the woman who runs Be Good spoke at the conference I went to in Puerto Rico, and she was like, "Get what you came for, okay? Know what you came for and get it, okay? And know when it's time to go." Okay, so did I point you to an accent? Yeah, I pointed you to From Burnout to Bliss for that. No, From Burnout to Bliss was for the other one. Let's point you to a new resource. Oh, actually, for the money thing, okay, so I'm behind. So I was supposed to point you to Trusted House Sitters earlier because you know very well that house sitting means I need a whole lot less money to live my life. So I'm going to point you to her foundation. Thanks, Erika. Erika Cole was in the conference. This is our 2 years. We were together in the conference for 2 years. I don't know if we're going to make it 3 because I don't think I'm going next year, too. It's in the U.S. next year. I'm like, oh, ew. Right? Yes, Beyonce's foundation is called Be Good, and the woman who runs the foundation was the speaker. Okay, so I've linked in here to Trusted House Sitters and to my new house sitter toolkit. If house sitting for free accommodation is a way that you could untether yourself from the type of work that you're doing and do something that you enjoy better for maybe less money, then go ahead and get started house sitting. It's what I do. That is how I am able to not have a traditional job be my master, right? Part of that is house sitting. Part of it is YouTube, right? I have a YouTube channel. I just had the thing on my phone this morning. When I opened my email this morning, it said, you received a deposit. And I legitimately was like, who's sending me money now, right? And it was YouTube AdSense. Got my 24.49. My YouTube AdSense is really low, relatively speaking, compared to where it was, this time last year or a year or two ago. But it's still good money, and it means I don't have to have a traditional job. My YouTube money, plus being able to house sit, means I can live in a lot of the world, right? If I know I'm going to make at least $2,500 a month on YouTube, and I know I'm going to be able to get free accommodation, I am freed up to not have a job that's my master. Okay? This is how I know things are realistic. Okay? We're talking realistic stuff here. And because there are quite a few women in this chat who are house sitting or who have house sat, who get free accommodation, whether it's for a weekend vacation or for a 2-year travel around the world trip. Okay? Yeah, Google always pays on time. Hey, Erica De Niro TV. I was like, wait a minute, because Rashida and I had just paid ourselves inside of the Exodus thing, Exodus money, and I was like, no, well, who's paying me now? Google. Google pays me. Thanks, Google. Right? Okay. So that was supposed to be the link that I said when I said your job controls other ways that you make money. Okay, I was supposed to link you to in all 6 of these questions. I'm also linking you to a support, right? So if your job is controlling the way you make money, and as a support, a helper in that is house sitting. Also, I do coach YouTube things, but I don't have anything coming up anytime soon. I could link you to my Get Found on YouTube masterclass. I have a pre-recorded masterclass called Get Found on YouTube. That is a resource, but I'm not sure when the challenge is going to be next run. We canceled the June challenge. Clarice and I canceled the June challenge. Let me just drop a link. Get Found on YouTube masterclass is at vicarious.com/getfound. So I do teach YouTube, but we canceled June. Okay, all right, so now back to the list. The questions were, exit. Let me move this around so I can see everything at once. Is your job your pathway to validation? This is, again, these are questions. Do you have a job or do you have a master? Is your job the pathway to your value and your validation? Do you ask, what would I even do if I didn't have a job? Does your job reciprocate your loyalty? Does your job control your access to health care? And do you need that health care because your job is making you sick? Does your job control other ways that you make money? Is your job the end, or is your job a means to an end, or is your job the end itself? These are my questions for my test. Do you have a job or do you have a master? Okay, I got it organized. Oh, wait, nope. Let me move this over here. Okay, that's the way I like it. All right, those are the things. Those are the questions. And those are the resources that I would recommend you use if if you don't like the answers to these questions. Okay? If you don't like your answers to these questions and you want something different, these are the questions and those are the resources. If your job is your pathway to value and validation, I would read Rachel Cargill's A Renaissance of Our Own. You come up with your own, you get in touch with your own value and you find your own values. That'll change things for you. That'll turn on a light for you. It really, I was already a person on this journey and that book still did that for me, right? If you don't know, what would I even do? You're like, oh, what would I even do if I didn't have what would I even do? My free time. Oh, I have to work. Then I recommend you get into the Exodus Summit community if you're a Black woman and see what they even do. See what Black women are out here doing on their sabbaticals, on their retirements, on their career breaks. Okay. If your job is not reciprocating the loyalty that you are extending to it, then come on over, read my book, Job Detox. It's not out yet. I said read my book. I mean, get on the wait list for my book, Job Detox. All right? If your job is in control of your access to healthcare and you don't want that, right? Go to exodussummit.com/money and watch the Move Abroad Money sessions. You can be, you can make money. You can have a job. You can have a job or make money in another way and be in another country where you have access to healthcare because you exist, right? And where private healthcare, I didn't say this part, you have access to public healthcare in a lot of countries in the world if you just are a resident of that country. If you need income to be a resident, go to Move Abroad Money. Find a way to make income. Get residency in another country and access their public health care. And then when you're ready for your private health care, which you're probably going to start up, right? You're going to get private health care as well. Please, I mean, not please, surprise. I don't think I've ever interviewed anyone who said their private insurance in another country cost them more than $1,500 per year. I believe the $1,500 number. Shar in Portugal said her private insurance is $1,500, and she said she has insurance that is above and beyond because she needed some stuff done, right? She could have gotten much less expensive insurance, but she went for the gusto, right? Because she got some stuff done. And I believe Rick and Halisi, who are Our Black Utopia on YouTube, I believe their total insurance for two people for the year is $1,500 per year. $1,500 per year for their private insurance. They have public insurance as residents of Portugal, and then they pay for private insurance. We're talking $1,500 per year. I don't know how you could do that in the United States. I don't know how far $1,500 would take you in the US. I'm a veteran, right? So I kind of lean on VA stuff when I'm in the US. But, or I would, what I say is I would use the VA for healthcare if I needed it in the US. But I'm imagining most people, $1,500 is a good 4 months of insurance if you're out on your own. And that's a guess. I made that number up. That's a guess. Okay? Yes. Sandra, I'm 60. Your annual insurance is $1,300 a year. Sandra, you're a resident of Mexico, but you're around the world. Last I heard, let's see, who you just met up with. Where is Sandra? Where are you at, Sandra? I think you might be back in Latin America. It's hard to keep track of Sandra, okay? She's hard to keep track of. I don't know where you are, but I'm assuming your private insurance is. Oh wait, is your private? Let's see. Have you done a video about this? Has anybody ever interviewed you about your insurance situation? Okay, whatever. $1,300 a year. Okay, boom, we got the number. $1,300 a year for private insurance for Sandra, who is bopping around the world. Okay, and if your job controls the way you make money, I've linked you to house sitter things as a way to lower your expenses. You're in Playa del Carmen. Okay, back in Playa. Okay. And then if your job is not a means to an end, right? If you don't really know what you're at, that's where I just saw you, because Sandra just left Casa Elm in San Miguel de Allende. I just mentioned that the other day to somebody. Oh, I talked to Michelle the other day. Rashida and I talked to Michelle the other day. Yes, Sandra just left Casa Elm in San Miguel de Allende. That's right. Hard to keep track of you, which is such a wonderful thing, such a beautiful thing. If your job is not a means to an end, if your job is the end in itself, please, okay, from burnout to bliss. Get coaching on your exit strategy. Whether your exit is a temporary exit, a sabbatical, and a career break are important. I think a sabbatical or career break is my favorite wellness practice, right? It's the favorite thing that I see Black women doing for their own wellness. I don't think you can manicure and pedicure your way to wellness, but I do think you can sabbatical your way to wellness. And I love that. So these are the resources, these are the questions, and these are the resources for this video. Okay, how did we do? Mara wants to know about anybody teaching abroad. On Adelia's channel, which is Picky Girl Travels the World, you're going to see quite a few videos about teaching abroad. Number one, because Adelia has been a teacher abroad. Adelia was a teacher in Honduras. Now, Oh, okay. So there's a difference between Mara. There's a difference between already being a teacher and teaching abroad, and teaching English like online or teaching English abroad as a second language. Two different things. Okay. If you're a teacher and you're talking about teaching abroad, Adelia, go to her channel. Picky Girl Travels the World. You're going to see quite a few videos on it. Because she taught in Honduras, Kuwait, China, somewhere else. But if you're talking about teaching English online or abroad for money, the last video I did on that was quite a while ago. I did a video on it quite a while. When you go to my channel, to my channel, which the page that lists out my videos, when you click on my channel, you'll see, you can put in teaching English, but it's been quite a while. I don't know that I have updated videos on that. So that's a good question for the community then. Is anyone teaching English online right now as a way to make extra money? Kim S. did it for quite a while. I don't know, she may not be doing it now, but Kim S. did it for quite a while. If you're in the Exodus Summit Facebook group, I would ask that question there. You're welcome. Yeah, I would ask that question inside the Exodus Summit Facebook group. Ask them specifically, who are they, how did they get started teaching English online? How much did they make? Who did they do it? Who did they teach through? What did they get a certification? All of that. What did they, was it, how easy was it to get students? There are platforms where the students come to you, and then there are platforms where you go out and get your students. So ask them some specific questions so you know exactly how to get started, Mara, if that's the way that you want to make a little extra money. What I know about teaching English online is we're talking $10 or $12 an hour, right? But if you need extra, right? If you're talking, right, that's what Mara said. She's doing some other things, but she wants some extra money. If you need extra money, that's a way that I know. It's a way that I've done, but it was years ago, almost 10 years ago now. It's 2016 that I taught English online with Cambly. Okay, ask some specific questions to the women in the chat, and maybe we'll talk about it here on my channel again because it's been quite a while. I don't know how long. I know I did a Cambly video in 2021, right? But I don't know if I've talked to anyone since then who's done it. Okay, all right, all right, all right. Yeah, we're not talking, you know, good money. We're talking, listen, I need a little money right now. That's my take on it. But they might give you better info than I know, right? I know what I know, but they might know something that I don't know that'll give you that there may be a path to better money or more stable money or bigger money that I don't know about. Okay. Danica, who is Big Sis Doula, I always keep my Teach English Online open as backup money. Yes, I've had it as a stream, then upped it to a river of income to pay off debt. Did you? Oh, we need to talk about that then. I didn't know that. So Danica has two channels, Big Sis Doula and H&D Abroad. Have y'all talked about teaching English online on H&D Abroad? I'm gonna go to your channel and look. Because it is a valid way to make money, and you can make money like in less than a week. You get your first money in less than a week. If $10 or $12 an hour is helpful. I didn't do this right. Teaching English online. So they've interviewed a couple about teaching English in Japan. Copy link, share, copy. Okay, on Danica's channel, they've talked to a couple about teaching English in Japan. To teach English, you don't need teaching experience, which is why I asked Mara if she was a teacher or if she meant teaching English online. And they interviewed Fatima about teaching English in Spain as a teaching assistant in Spain. So this may not be helpful to you, Mara, but may be helpful to somebody. Those are the two that pop up that I recognize. Okay? Resources. Okay? I promise y'all, I'm not out here telling you to do things without giving you resources, generally speaking. Okay. All right. If you can't tell, that hurt my feelings because I built a whole platform on giving resources, right? And sharing other people's experiences and whatevers, experiences and stories and whatevers. And that hurt my feelings to read that I'm out here just telling y'all to do something that is not realistic and without resources. I think maybe some people have a different opinion of what realistic means. If somebody else is doing it, it's realistic, I think, right? But that did hurt my feelings because listen, I talk a lot. I've shared a lot of resources. I've made a lot of resources. Exodus Summit in itself is a fan-fucking-tastic resource for Black women who want a sabbatical or a move abroad or a career break. I know that like I know my name. So I'm not out here telling y'all, just do this. Click your heels 3 times. Click your heels 3 times. I don't do that. And I'm not telling you to do. I don't click my heels 3 times when I need something, and I don't tell you to click your heels 3 times when you need something. I give you the resources that I know of, and if I don't know a resource, I invite somebody on and we talk about it, right? I can't tell you about I think tiny houses are a great idea. I can't teach you about tiny houses. You know who does? Jewel Pearson. You know who I interview on this channel? Jewel Pearson. Okay? Right? Maybe on Instagram, I might be saying stuff without resources. Right? It's hard to put links on Instagram. Instagram is just, you know, it's for chit chat. It's hard to put links on Instagram, and it's really hard to, to share resources on Instagram. But over here, I think that's what I've built this entire platform around, sharing resources, telling you, teaching, coaching, sharing, facilitating, and bringing other people on to do that as well. Teaching, coaching, sharing, facilitating done by me and by other Black women. That's what we do here. Okay. Okay, Professor LCH says relax. Some people are new. They don't know. Okay. All right. Thank you. Von Powell has info about teaching English abroad, all right? Teaching English, people with no teaching experience, generally people who teach English online or abroad, are people who don't have teaching experience, okay? If you have teaching experience, you have there's a pathway to better money, okay? That's why I asked that question. But Von Powell says, Thailand has it where you can get certified to teach English in Thailand in a week, and they get you jobs. You go to Thailand, stay in a hotel, they send me emails daily. They need teachers bad, Japan too. Vaughn, are you in the Exodus Summit Facebook community? If you are, you might want to share the name of the newsletter that you signed up for, or can you share it here? Do you know the name of that newsletter that you can share here? You can't share the link. YouTube won't let you share links to things, but if you would like to share the name of the newsletter, that would be helpful. Yeah. Hi, Alicia Renese. It hurts when you put so much work into something and people poo-poo it. Yeah, I don't like that. I'm a human person. the, on a TV show that whatever the man he'd be like, I'm a human person, which is not something human people say. I'm a human person. So Thea Lightweaver, I applied for Cambly and never heard back. Was that recently or was that a long time ago? Is Cambly no longer like in operation? Has anybody started with Cambly? So when I type in Cambly, the first result that pops up, which is an ad, is Preply. So maybe if Cambly's no longer in operation, maybe there's another player in this world that is helpful. Cambly's website's still up. I would go get some help or start over. If you're still interested, I would either holler at Cambly. I'm sure there's some sort of customer service, something. Online today, customer service is not what it used to be, but I'm sure there's something. some way to contact them. And if you can't, maybe is it possible to start over? We'll do a whole video on teaching English online because it is a way to make money right away, but it's $10, $10 or $12 an hour. That was the last update I saw. They were on a freeze a year ago. Okay, Von Powell says Cambly was on a freeze a year ago. Okay. Yeah, these things are like that, right? Once once you hear about it, then everything changes. But there may be another platform or something. So I would go into the Exodus Summit Facebook group and look for the post. Hopefully Mara will ask the question and we'll get some good information there. And then we'll talk about it here. Brown Sugar Babe says the same thing. They have hiring freezes every now and then. Okay. All right. So we need to find out, maybe is there an alternative to Cambly? And also find out, like, how do we know how do we know when they're back up? That's that. That's that. Oh, I also want to say this. No one has to agree with me. Nobody agrees with me on everything. Connie Perry be like, psh. One day you're quoting the Bible, one day you're doing this. Girl, you do not, I promise you do not have to agree with me on everything. My main agenda is for Black women to move abroad. If you're at all interested in that, I hope you stick around. But understand, you're not going to agree with me on everything. You may not agree with me on most things. But if you're a Black woman who wants to move abroad, you can get the support, the help, the information you need here. You're in a good place. Not the only place for you. I'm not the only place for anything. But you can get good information here, okay? You don't have to agree with me on everything. I know that. Sometimes I don't even agree. I'll be like, do I really? Right? Do I really? Let me go back on this. Do I think that? I can't think of anything that I've changed my mind on recently, but sometimes I change my mind. I'm a human person. I'm a human person. Baby says TEFL certification takes time, I believe. I do know that there are different ways to get certified, and I have seen Black women get certified in like 2 weekends or 3 weekends. And then some people take their different certifications and different whatever. This is why we need to have somebody on who knows and talks about it, or a couple people who have done it different ways. Because listen, I know a little sliver of what I knew from back in 2016, right? Girl, I don't know. Yeah, separate the meat from the bones is what F Doctor says. Yes, right? Kat from Rebloom Room, she don't agree with half of what I say. Kat would be like, no, and here's why. And I'm always glad when she's here, right? There is a thing. There is a like what do they call echo chamber, feedback chamber, where you're in your world and you talk your talk, and you only hear people who agree with you. So it is also nice to hear from people who don't agree in the chat. I very rarely interview someone who doesn't agree with me. Honestly, I very rarely interview someone who doesn't agree overall with me, because it's my channel. It's my channel. But in the chat, in the comments, on their channels, it's really nice to hear somebody have a different perspective. That's what opens you up to things. There's some things I don't want to be opened up on. And then there are other things where I'm like, oh, let's get some different perspective. How long have I had this YouTube channel? My first video, well, I did some one-off videos back in the day. I did a Weight Watchers video once. I did a hair video once. But my first actual videos talking about sabbaticals, career breaks, and moving abroad was June. Oh, we just had my anniversary. June of 2019. June 2nd. It was supposed to be June 1st, and I was so afraid that I couldn't put the video up on June 1st, I think. So it was like June 2nd of 2019. So that means this is my 5th anniversary. Happy anniversary, friends. And some of you have been around for quite a long time. Yoga Bliss Dance is one of the first names I think I learned, right? Some of you have been around for quite a long time. Some of you are very, very new. I'm glad to have all of you here. I'm glad to have all of us here. We're an amazing place, an amazing community. You're not going to find too much awesomeness like this. You're not. It's hard to repeat, hard to replicate. You're not going to find too many places on the internet where you're like, oh my gosh, this is awesome. Everybody's so awesome, right? Sometimes you find people like I watched vidIQ's video this morning about 10 out of 10 videos. Right? Anyway, right? You put up a video and it doesn't do that well, and I watched it. I really like the teachers on the vidIQ channel, but I don't. I hate the chat. I hate when they do live streams. The people in the chat are so awful. Sometimes they're just annoying, but sometimes they're like awful people, right? They're good channel, good teachers, but I don't like the community, right? Other times you find the reverse, like, girl, she ain't talking about nothing. Um, well, I guess I shouldn't say her name, but there's a channel who I really like what she used to do, and now she's just talking about she got a man, and now all she wants to talk about is her man. But she's got a good community. The people there are nice, right? I think we're the total package. Ah, Nisi Ania. I'm sorry, I don't know how to read your screen name. I'm a newbie. Welcome, but not a newbie, but I'm commenting from my new channel. Oh, okay, okay. Yes, that's another thing. Sometimes people are in like Danica. Danica is Big Sis Doula. She's also H&D abroad. We got to know who's here. Know who's here. What? Wait, was the fan annoying? Was the fan? Is that what you mean, Kat? What was make it stop? Oh, maybe you're talking about the boyfriend. Yes. Yes, indeed. Yes, vidIQ has a channel, and their teachers are the people who make those videos are really good. They're really good at teaching YouTube things. I really like them. Okay, all right. We've hit our 2 hour mark, which is where I start to get into foolishness. So let's wrap this up by thank you, Tori. Tori says happy anniversary with a cupcake. Thank you. Kind of forgot about it. 5th is a big anniversary. That's a big anniversary. Thank you. Look, oh, this is my fan because I'm about to be 50. Okay, I carry a fan with me at all times now, and I charge it more than I charge my phone. Right? Like my phone, I'll be like, oh, my phone is on red. Who cares? My fan, it's always charged up. Okay, I don't play. Um, something. Oh, Kat said it looks like a sex toy. Something else popped into my head real quickly. Yeah. Okay. But yeah. So 5 years. That's big. Thank you for being here. Thank you for this. Thank you for this because this is a community. This doesn't exist without you, right? It doesn't exist without you. Otherwise, it's just me talking to a little green circle on my laptop, which I call Charmaine. It's just me talking to Charmaine. But you're here and you make this a place that people want to come to every week, right? Every week. Oh, thank you for the vacation last week. I was off last week and I didn't bring a guest. Sometimes when I'm not going to be here, I don't bring a guest. Last week, I wasn't here and there was no guest. If you get notifications, if you get, what's it called? The text alerts. I sent a text alert out last week saying I wasn't coming. But I didn't do any other notification that I wasn't coming. So sorry about that if you were waiting for me. I apologize for keeping you waiting. The text alerts are the best way to keep up to date on what's happening. I guess this is the time to give you the text alert number. Links. If you were very annoyed last week that I didn't show up and you were waiting for me, the solution really is a text alert. YouTube does, there's no way really only other thing I could have done was like make a video saying I'm not making a video today or something. There's no really good way to tell you that. So this is how you get text alerts. You just text the word YouTube. You don't have to text anything else. Just text the word YouTube to 888-403-4465 and you get a text alert before the live stream or you get a text alert when no live stream is happening at all. Yeah, I call my circle Charmaine. I talk to Charmaine. Listen, especially when I'm pre-recording, I'm like, girl, I got something to tell you. Stop applying for jobs, Charmaine. Do this instead. Take a sabbatical, Charmaine. I talk to Charmaine. That's my little circle. That's my girl. Charmaine is a real person in my life who for years I wanted to quit her job, and she finally did it. And she's in Europe living her life. I haven't really talked to her in quite a while. She's in Europe, just like living. Okay, we did it. Success. We did it. Yes. Are we in the shenanigans portion? We're not going to carry this on too long because I did the coaching this week with Rashida and my voice is not the strongest. I'm feeling a little tired, and we're doing some. We got to interview. We're doing some recording sessions. We're doing a recording session this afternoon. I need to rest up, and I got to talk to the lady about the conference today. So I got to rest my voice up. So thank you for being here. Thank you for being so wonderful and helpful in the comments. If you're in the Exodus Summit Facebook group, and you're also interested in the question of question of teaching English online. Hopefully that post will be up really soon for Mara, okay? And you'll be able to get some info there before we talk about it here. If you, what is the word? If you aren't a member of the community yet, you can go ahead and request to join. The Exodus Summit Facebook community is for you if you're a Black woman who is interested in this conversation, frankly, okay? If you're interested in this conversation and you're a Black woman, go ahead and join us, exodussummit.com/community. Yes, it's a Facebook group, right? Ugh, we don't love Facebook like that either, but it's a place. We're there for now. Okay. All right. Thank you very much for being here. Thank you so much for sharing and participating and helping and answering questions and asking questions. Thank you very much for your kindness toward me. Thank you very much for your kindness towards each other. I'll see you again very soon. Next time we talk, I think I'll be, no, it'll still be June. Okay. I'll see you guys again very soon. Have a wonderful weekend. Bye.